Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, October the 12th. We just got the CPI a little hotter than expected, but at the same time, sorry about my bouncing chart down there, but at the same time, less than the prior month noted. And so what we are looking at is a fade off the top. It moved in pretty quickly, I think, after that CPI number. And we are in this solid upward trend. Our weekly formations are still up. Our daily formations are in the gap. This is the area that we want to look at, right? For the gap and the rotation into support. We just got it right here, right? Old resistance, new support. Now we're back up over senior resistance. And there, again, so CPI, a little bit of nothing, bringing price action upward again. I still think we move very sideways. I don't believe the days have been supremely easy to trade because we've had reversals. And the speed at which we are moving reminds me of short covering that people are still trying to do. That being said, there are a lot of people bullish. And in the end, if you're trading from support to resistance, it doesn't matter why it's moving. It really doesn't. What matters is that you get in at support and you get out at resistance. All right? If you're trading for a big long-term upside trend, I would say there are some things showing that that's not really the kind of formation that we're in general. If I were to build a channel, could this be some sort of bull flag? It could, but at the end of the day, we don't really know, right? We don't know what's happening here, but we do know that this is a downward channel. And from a daily formation, you can see that after a pretty savage fade, the market's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days to the upside. Could we have a seventh? Of course we could. We are moving into the resistance. Counter channel shows us all the way up at 442 as a possible area of congestion. We can see it right, you know what, we can move it right to the opening space. 443, quite possible. And that could be, you know, at the top of this downward formation. There is a tremendous amount of price action that is showing us downside pressure. All right, so that's it for SPY. What are the levels that we're looking at? If we hold 437.20 on any fade into the morning, write this one down, 437.20 or so. If it doesn't hold it and it starts breaking down, it's going to come into the 436.30 area, okay? Should we have a dip for a pullback? Yes, but the deep dips, I think, are going to fade. The big spikes are going to fade, okay? Just like yesterday, I thought, hey, listen, we've got ourselves a deep dip. That's going to spike. We've got a big rise. That's going to fade. And that's really what it's done over the last several days, right? Almost the opposite of what the pre-market has, and then an end recovery. We are looking at upside pressure in general, and that's the big thing to keep abreast of. All right, let's go to the ES. I think we are going to have our midday report a little early today because of the game tonight. We have another basketball game tonight. I am still in Scotland. Yeah, and so we'll be doing that. Here is this line in the sand. 44.18 yesterday was, not yesterday, day before yesterday is where I pulled off the long action. Coming into support, it held 43.82. This is a breakout zone, right? What happened here? First of all, I'm in a slight upward pressure. That pressure has got a ceiling on it. I pulled back, I made a higher low. I broke higher, I've pulled in to another higher low. So the pullbacks are buy zones here. This is likely a breakout area that takes us to 44.46, right? 44.45, that looks reasonable to me. Pullbacks are going to be buy zones, so watch for the fade that gives us the ledge, and really what we're looking at is, as long as we hold 44.07, we'll be in really good shape for more upside pressure. Let's take a look at the NQ. Same sort of thing. What are we doing? Upside pressure. Let's draw the channel and see if we can get ourselves... well, that's right at the top of the channel, so let's choose that. Not as clean as the other one, but still general flag pattern. Remember, everybody's still thinking fourth quarter seasonality, upside pressure. It's going to happen in tech, and that's really what they're doing. Right now, take a look. We're coming into daily resistance that we've seen a ton of times, and so that's going to be something that we need to watch. Pullbacks are still buy zones. Look at the trend. Trend is up intraday and on the daily. So let's just look for the congestion areas. Let's look for the pullbacks that give us buy zones. All right, let's look at oil. Oil bouncing off this 82 level. That's pretty important. You know, it filled the gap. I think the bounces are sell zones here, but it's hard to say where that actual bounce could carry us to. Maybe it's 87. Yeah. Yeah, maybe just shy of 87. The Keltner channel is well below that. But this is a relief bounce pattern. Notice how savagely it faded, how sharply it's moving. Yeah. And then finally, I want to take us to the dollar and have a look, right? Listen, if the dollar moves up, the market is going to have trouble. It just is what it is, right? This is the 10-year. And so if the dollar goes up, the 10-year goes down. And so that really is what we are looking at. I think this is a really fair bounce zone for dollar. I know that noise is crazy. They are refinishing the stairs here. So that being said, that really is one of the key things for us to look at. Let's look at the TLT. TLT is in a dip, probably. Yes. And it's at the top of the range. That, I think, is problematic, right? I don't think it's going to break north right now. I do think it's going to fade right back into this ledge. And this is what is going to tell us whether we have a good floor or not. The pullback into this zone, if it begins to push higher and then the dollar starts to fade, the market will catch a bid. Until then, no cigar. All right, folks, see you on the platforms.